Okay, y'all, I'm going to try to do a little bit of video on here how to fillet, or how I fillet these little small crappie that we're catching out of that lake. They're not very big, and there's not a whole lot of meat on them, but they're wanting that lake thinned out, so that's why I'm taking these home, and they are good eating. But the way I do, I keep them in this cooler of ice, or ice water, overnight, and that lets that meat firm up a little bit. Okay, then I take my knife, and I start off, I cut right along the backbone right here, all the way up here to the head. And then I take my knife, and I run it through and down to the tail. Then I turn my knife over, and I cut up and cut through the rib bones. Just cut through the rib bones. You have to be careful not to cut your hand off here. All right, I cut it to right there, and then I turn my knife and come right straight up out of there at an angle, just like that. All right, then you flip this over, flip it over like that, and then I like to cut these rib bones out first, and that's kind of the reason for letting them be cold, because that lets that meat firm up there, and you can cut that rib out of there like that. And the reason for that I've found, because I was filleting them just like everybody else does, start at the top, cut down. But this meat being so thin here, the skin behind it being thin, it kept tearing loose. So if you cut the rib out first, then you got skin here to hang on to if this up here breaks. But then I come up here and I just cut down there, put the knife against that skin, and you just trim it right off. Move your finger on down here holding that skin. Just trim that right off there like that. There you have your fillet. It don't even have the pin bones in there. Right there, just like that. All right, and I flip him over, and I do the same thing on this side. All right, just cut right down along that backbone like that right there. All right, run your knife through when you get down here to that tail right there. Run your knife through there just like that. Cut it down here to the tail. Flip the knife over. This time I turn it around so I can hang on to that head, which that's kind of dangerous if you're not careful, because if that knife slips, you could lose a digit or two there. Anyway, just cut right through them ribs, right here to the front. Trim it straight up out of there. Flip it over. Cut these ribs out. Like so. Cut them ribs right out of there. Put them in the bag over here. I put all my scraps in the bag, and I usually put them in my garden. I dig me a hole, put them in my garden, and let them stay in there and fertilize my garden. That's what I usually do with them. Then you just trim that meat off of there again, just like so. There, that gut off of it there. All right, and there you go. There you got another fillet. They're not real big, but what I did the other day with these, I took some of them. I took a bunch of them, and I put them in a cast iron skillet. Just a single layer in that cast iron skillet. And I brushed them with butter, melted butter, and then I put blackened seasoning on them and a little bit of salt. Put them in the oven and air fried them, and man, you talk about good. That was good. A little hot, but it was good. And I did some for my wife and her mama that can't hardly handle that hot stuff too much. I did some with lemon pepper for them. Okay, all right, y'all. I hope this helped you understand why I do it the way I do, and it might make it easier for you trying to skin out some of these, or fillet out some of these smaller ones. It works real good. It works better for me to go backwards the way everybody else does it. But anyway, that's just me. All right, y'all. Have a good day. Thanks for watching.